up? We are back, and today we are doing a chatty autumn tutorial. So I'm gonna be chatting through the whole tutorial, not only about beauty but also about what's been happening with my life, getting back on YouTube and everything like that. So first we're gonna be using the ILLAMASQUA Hydra Veil primer. As you know, this is kind of like a jelly shake. I haven't done YouTube in so long. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you through my thought process. I had been telling you guys that I was really frustrated for a while. I didn't feel like doing YouTube anyway. I just didn't feel motivated to do it. I was growing like a tiny little bit in subscribers, but then not growing in views, and I didn't know what to do, and I was kind of lost. And so yeah, that is pretty much it. That's what I was feeling. So now I'm gonna be using the IT Cosmetics CC Cream, Your Skin But Better CC Plus, but the oil-free version, which is new and is matte. The shade Fair, absolutely love this. I've never tried the original, but I really love the glowing pink one. But sadly, they do not have my winter shade. They do have my summer shade, but I'm getting a little fairer now, so I'm gonna mix this actually. My Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream, which is a little less coverage and is a little lighter as well. This is the IT Cosmetics, this is Bare Minerals. I'm gonna mix them up a little bit. And yeah, so after coming from my vacation, I did kind of wish that things would get a little bit better in terms of my motivation, because I really wasn't feeling it. I was doing Instagram and I was feeling like motivated to do it, but when I came back from vacation, it was like the post-vacation depression, if you know what I mean. Even though I wanted to come home, I was really excited to come home because I hadn't been home in like a month. And this is the Iconic London, I think this is called the Evo Pro Foundation Buffer or something like that. But I will list everything down below. I was really unmotivated, and when I got back, I was even less motivated, and I wasn't even doing Instagram. And so I got to this point where I felt like I was sinking into old, really bad habits when it came to my depression. I eventually brought this up with my therapist, and like we kind of got to the conclusion that the less I do, the more depressed I am, which results in me doing even less. And so I do have to push myself harder sometimes to do, because when I feel like I'm not being proactive, I feel very depressed. And what's the point of life? Not like in terms of self-love and self-esteem, but more like, what am I contributing to the world? What am I doing that's kind of worth it? And so, yeah, I started to force myself to do more stuff and be more active. And I'm now using the BECCA Cosmetics Aqua Luminous Perfecting Concealer in the shade Porcelain. Again, I love this concealer. Wish they had a lighter shade, because this is like my summer shade. Yeah, it came in a week where I had an event every single day. And so it really forced me to get out of the house, get out of my shell. And that also really helped a lot. And I started to write on the blog as well again, and that also helped. And I feel like I'm in a much better place now. And when I started filming, the first video I filmed was a foundation review, which is so like run-of-the-mill for me. And that's, I feel like I thought that was why I wasn't excited, because I wasn't doing anything innovative. But to be honest, I really liked doing it, really enjoyed it. I was really excited about it, and that whole, like, it also gave me a perspective on what was happening. It had nothing to do with YouTube in general. I mean, YouTube sucks, Instagram sucks at the moment. I feel like I'm so much better. You know, depression is made of highs and lows, and so I feel like I've conquered my low at the moment, but I don't want to do too much of a party still. Also, if you haven't been following me on Insta, and if you haven't been following me on Insta, like, how are you even here? Because I've basically been a ghost here. So do follow me on Insta. But yeah, we adopted a little dog. I don't know if you know this. It was kind of fate. So Miguel and I had shared this before as well. We were looking to adopt a dog for a while, but we didn't want to buy the dog. I honestly don't believe in buying. I'm not like shading people who do it, because obviously I'm not perfect. For me, it just doesn't make sense. Also, for me, it doesn't make sense to eat animals, and I'm still not vegan. So again, I'm not shading anyone. I'm corrupt within my own morals. Most of the breeders are kind of really corrupt. They treat the puppies really badly. Don't buy dogs, and if you do buy a dog, do not buy bulldogs because it's just so wrong. I'm so against breeding them, but again, I digress. We didn't want to buy a dog. We were looking into adopting. We're actually looking into adopting a puppy because we thought it would be easier to integrate him with our cat series. And right now I'm going to be using the BAREMINERALS original foundation. And this is shade Golden Fair. I also have their lightest shade, which is a little more pinky toned, but I'm gonna give this one a go. I just got it this week at an event and it's like engraved and everything. So yeah, but getting a puppy was hard, not only because there's not a lot of puppies to adopt. Most people do want to adopt puppies because they want the cuteness of him being a baby. And so there's not a lot to adopt that are kind of puppies unless they have a lot of health issues. And we didn't mind with the health issues. We actually tried to adopt a little puppy that had like a cleft palate and everything, but they told us that for puppies, usually they do not give them away to people in apartments that don't have a sort of garden where they can run around. So they advise us to look into older dogs. Okay, I'm gonna use another powder because I am legit cannot open this right now. I'll try to open it later. So I am using the Pure 4-in-1 Pressed Mineral Makeup in the shade Porcelain. Then we were looking into so many, and actually we found it quite frustrating because most of the people either wouldn't even consider letting someone in an apartment adopt, even if they're dogs that are good in apartments. And then we also got denied a lot because we had a cat, and most people that were putting their animals up for adoption, or even shelters, shockingly, were not into letting a dog live with our cat. We kept getting denied. It was one point where we were just like kind of giving up, and then we saw this post for someone who was desperately looking for a forever home for this whippet, and his name was Bobbi, and we just thought that was the most, we love whippets. We've been looking into whippets and greyhounds and everything, but a greyhound in its typical size would be actually too large for our place, and I feel like he wouldn't be comfortable around here. So we didn't want to, like, even if they let us, we wouldn't want to adopt a dog and then him not being his full self. So we actually were looking at whippets, but again, whippets are not really known to get along with cats, even though a lot of them do, because they are sight hounds. Most people would just not consider even letting us talk about him living with a cat. The primer I used on my eyes was the FENTY Pro Filter Primer, eye primer. On my eyes right now, I'm going to be using the OPV Beauty Yemoja palette, which I have swatched on my Insta and is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to go into Mawu first. We did see this post for Bobbi. We were like so over the moon, so adorable, and he had lived with a cat before. He was living with a cat at the moment and other dogs, and we just thought it was like a match made in heaven. It was like fate. So we reached out, and it all happened like pretty quickly. We saw a post on a Saturday, we reached out, we got an answer by Sunday, and on Monday we rented a car to go and meet him, and we actually brought him home that same Monday. It was super fast because they, again, were in a hurry. Especially in the beginning, he had a lot of separation anxiety. He still has, but he just can't be left alone for long periods of time. Even small periods are really challenging. And so we just thought, like, yes, this is it. He's perfect. We want him. And we brought him home that very day. And it's been such a bliss. He's such a cute little baby. He's not here right now. He went for a walk. Hopefully he'll come back before I end up filming and I can show you him. Gets along with Tyria's fine. They kind of like, again, they kind of like chase each other around a little bit. It would be great for him to get used to being alone for like longer periods of time, because as it is, if you leave him alone for like 10 minutes, he destroys the house and he cries. I'm gonna mix this with this to kind of give this a little more depth. The only thing that is kind of like a no for me specifically on this palette, because I'm so fair, I think it needed a lighter transition shade. I feel like for people of color, this is amazing, especially because the shadows are like super pigmented. I only needed like a CC cream and not much else because my acne isn't very pigmented, but I am having such a hard time with texture. I am doing a few laser sessions at that clinic I always do in my hometown. Obviously they're not curing me of anything, they're just like diminishing the situation, kind of keeping it under control, but very much it's still happening. And so they advised me to go to a gynecologist they have at that same clinic that is actually skin focused. I'm gonna take my powder actually a little just to kind of buff everything out again because I feel like I don't have that transition shade. So, oh yeah, that's much better. So yeah, she's gonna look into my hormones and kind of see if there's anything that we can do. I don't know how that's gonna happen. You guys know I don't get along with the pill at all. So I hope it's not like one of those type of hormone testings because I need other solutions that don't include the pill because it just doesn't work for me, first of all, which if it did, I kind of will put up with it, but it doesn't. And then it also makes me extremely sick. And my mom's the same way, so it's probably like a family thing. Okay, I'm gonna be going into Nano right now. I feel like this video is gonna be so super long. Yeah, I'm gonna have that done now in Portugal, so definitely keep posted to everything I talk about acne, regarding acne, because I will let you know how it goes and I will let you know what happens. There's also another clinic here in London that does these laser treatments that are a little bit more in-depth than the ones I usually do, and I've been looking into them. They're a bit more expensive, so that's going to be my second option if the gynecologist thing doesn't pan out. And can we just talk about this eyeshadow because oh Jesus, it is beautiful. And on top of that, just a little bit of this more foiled OEO shade. Highlight here in the middle. Thing. And actually just a little more into this Ayao shade with a teeny tiny little brush just for like here. Oh my god! I had something in my teeth! I was gonna say, why didn't you tell me? But, you know, I realized why I didn't tell me. Right? I'm like, it's like I'm talking legit to a friend. I was gonna be like, you bitch! For the highlighter, I'm gonna be using the Bobbi Brown Bobbi to Glow highlighting trio. This was a holiday collection. I don't know if this ever got made permanent. I think so, but I'm not sure. I hope so. If not, I'm sorry. If it is, I'll leave it down below. I'm just gonna subtly do this here before I put on my mascara. I'm gonna be using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara today. I'm having a real hard time with my lashes, so here's what happened. About 3 months ago, I think I've complained actually about this in one of my last videos. They were falling out like crazy. I had tons of gaps and they were really bad. And I was planning to do this anyway, but for my vacation, because I wanted to take photos at the beach that I didn't look like, I don't know, a squid or something, because I hate my like blonde transparent lashes. Even when I do have great lashes, they're like, and so blonde. And so I got them tinted and lifted. I did the what's called the LVL treatment and they were really nice. I really love how they turned out. I had done LVL once before and I hated it because basically all my lashes fell after that and I was like bald in my lash line. And I was kind of worried it was gonna happen again, but I didn't know that different boutiques use different products, so I decided to try it out anyway. I really wanted those cute photos at the beach and so I got them did. And I really liked that. They were really good. They lasted me for about 2 months and then I started to see some kind of gaps. And the gaps didn't mean that they were falling out. It just meant like they were falling out and the new ones that were growing weren't curled anymore. they kept on falling like way more intensely than they usually do. And so I still have some gaps, which are not from the LVL, are from them falling down like faster than usual originally. And then I have some left, like a few left that you can see that are the pointiest ones are still from the LVL, and then I have normal ones. And so when I do my lashes, it's always really awkward, really like awkward and weird. They're not really fanned out. They're not really, there's no fullness here. So I have been using a lot more fake lashes, but I didn't want to put fake lashes on for this because it's just, I don't use them in real life. I just use them for like looks or really like events, going out at night or something. I don't use them daily, and so I didn't want to use them in this specific tutorial, but they do look kind of awkward. And we're also going to be using the Burberry Earthy blush, which is one of my most used blushes. I absolutely love it. It is a subtle blush, but I really, really love it as a nude option to complement any look. It looks really gorgeous. And I'm going to go over that just a tiny little bit with NABLA's Hey Honey. Just more on the apples of my cheeks. As a highlighter, we're going to go back to the Bobbi Brown palette and to this lighter shade right here. And just... I love this. Like, if it's not permanent, it should have been. Because it really is so gorgeous. Look at that. So it has like a wet feeling to it, but at the same time, it is so subtle. It's not glittery, it's not glittery or chunky at all. And last but not least, I'm just gonna apply a little bit of this Bobbi Brown All Over Glow. It has the most interesting texture, and it works basically like a dew. So I usually apply it just like a finishing touch on the high points of the face, just like I would sort of a highlighter, but very, very detailed and very like not all over. I've been loving dewy highlighters. I really love them. And so sometimes I'll use a powder as a base, but I'll always finish with something like this or the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, I think that's what it's called. As a lipstick today, I'm going to be using the new Fenty Beauty Mattemoiselle matte lipstick in the shade Pumpkin Rose. Rose or Rosé? Pumpkin Rose. And this has not actually been launched individually because they launched their Vault collection of their new Mattemoiselle lipsticks, and there are 10. They will eventually be sold separately, but at the moment I think they're only sold in the Vault. First, I'm going to use the Nude Sticks Blur Pencil. I've been really enjoying to use this around my lips because, as you know, I have a lot of scarring around my lips, and this just makes applying the lipstick that much easier. It also makes for a more flawless line. I'm so jealous of those people who have like no texture around their lips and they're just swatching lipsticks like, ooh, gliding effortlessly over stuff. And I'm just like, I love this shade, I have to say. I love this pumpkin shade. And I've just done a swatch of all of the 10 new Fenty Mattemoiselle lipsticks. And that will be either on Instagram or coming to Instagram soon. I really do love the texture of these though. They're so easy to apply. They go over my dry patches really well because I have tons of them and they are barely noticeable. So I really like them. I don't have all the other Mattemoiselles, the first launch of them, but I have almost all of them. Dobby's here. Dobbs. Dobby.
Sabe o Pablo? Sabe quem é o Pablo?
No, I don't.
Look. Sabe quem é o Pablo?
Stay still for a while. Look there! Babes! He's crazy. Dobby. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this look, about the products I use. As always, they'll always be linked in the description box. Everything is linked below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to click the little bell button so you know every single time I'm uploading. See you in the next one. Bye!